بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم صدق الله العظيم
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, Honorable Adam Sharif Umar, UNICEF Representative to the Maldives, Dr. Edward Adai, Chief Executive Officer of Local Government Authority, Dr. Mariam Zulfa, representatives from government institutions, distinguished guests, and participants of Kudinna Gatum Forum. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. I am Hamda Abdul Rahman from Local Government Authority, and I'll be your host for this ceremony. And it is my honor to welcome you to the opening ceremony of Kudinna Gatum Forum. Kudinna Gatum is a strategy initiated by the UNICEF Maldives Country Office in 2023, aiming to bring interventions and programs supported by UNICEF closer to the children with an integrated approach in selected locations to serve children and to create Aharemem Benuvara, the island we want. As such, this two-day forum will be focused on viewing city and island councils' work plans through children's lenses and planning for children. I shall hereby outline this morning's agenda. The ceremony was commenced by the recitation of the Holy Quran by Mr. Adam Furgan, Auditor at Local Government Authority. The second item on agenda is a welcoming address from the Local Government Authority. After that, we will have an address by UNICEF Maldives, followed by a video presentation on the Kudinna Gatum initiative and its flagships. The last item on the agenda is a keynote address by our chief guest on prioritizing children and the role of local governance. And before we conclude this ceremony, we shall capture this memorable event with a group photo. Next on the agenda is a welcoming address by the Local Government Authority. I hereby invite Dr. Mariam Zulfa, our Chief Executive Officer, to deliver her remarks. CEO Dr. Mariam Zulfa.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. President of the LGA Governing Board, Honorable Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, Adam Sharif Umar, Dr. Edward Adai, UNICEF representative to the Maldives, and other officials from the UN office here in the Maldives, distinguished ministers of state, our fellow participants from councils, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to welcome you all to this forum on Kudinai Gatung, to be conducted in the 10 selected islands of the Maldives, Kuludufushi, Shavian Funadu, Ramidu, Ba Edafushi, Alif Ukulas, Wab Felidu, Dal Kudahuadu, Lamgang, Formulak, and Sin Hitadu. This initiative, Kudina Gatung, is part of the implementation of the UN's Sustainable Development Cooperation Framework for Maldives, aimed at promoting child rights and human development, and pave the way for creating opportunities to achieve universality in child rights, with the aim of leaving no child behind. UNICEF is what I call the quiet achiever of the UN family, doing amazing things with the most vulnerable groups in society. At the local government authority, we are indeed privileged to be joining hands with UNICEF in developing the concept of safe islands for children, in which they can grow up in a nurtured and caring environment. The beautiful thing about this project is that it leaves a lasting legacy of the creation of child-friendly and climate-resilient islands, and we shall see at the end of 1 year, in not just one island, but in all 10 selected islands, a very solid framework developed for bringing up children, or in other words, a safe environment in which children can grow and prosper created. The initialization of this work has begun in 2023, and UNICEF has consistently worked in the 10 identified islands, quietly and gracefully, I must say, with LGA in laying the foundation and placing the building blocks with councillors to proceed confidently with providing an environment for children in which they can feel safe and supported. This forum will build on that foundation, hold hands, and impart the knowledge and skills required by councillors and council staff to proceed with that work. The sessions are aimed at the 35 or so participants here today, including 2 from the councils from each of the islands, including some from Women's Development Committees or WDCs and youth groups. We at the local government authority are always deeply appreciative of the UN's support to President Dr. Mohamed Muiz's policy of professionalizing councils in support of strengthening the decentralized administration of the Maldives. On the day that I was appointed, His Excellency President Dr. Muiz took the time to talk to me and give his advice, which was in the main on the emphasis on making councils work more efficient, effective, and results-oriented. His advice to me was to go to every government ministry and every international partner and seek good things for councils. So we have had very many engagements with the various offices of the UN, sometimes engaging in difficult conversations about resource limitations, sometimes not seeing eye to eye with prioritizing development objectives and so on, but always with fun and laughter and a lot of passion and commitment on the part of UN staff to carry forward the development priorities of President Dr. Muiz's National Development Agenda. So our heartfelt thanks to each and every one of the UN team, especially UNICEF. I know, Dr. Adai, the very close attention to detail and care that you give to each and every UNICEF's projects here in the Maldives, and we can see that same passion and commitment reflected in your team's work with us. I know also that you care very deeply about rural communities, and we are indeed immensely honored that you are spearheading the work, this work as well as other projects targeted to the remote islands of the Maldives. So on behalf of the board of LGA and staff, thank you, sir, and thank you, UNICEF team. It would be remiss of me if I do not mention in my vote of thanks the cooperation and support provided by the very many government ministries and departments, in particular the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Social and Family Development, Ministry of Sports and Recreation, Ministry of Environment and Energy, and Ministry of Homeland Security, and the Ministry of Housing, Land and Urban Development. This initiative is indeed a multi-stakeholder endeavor, something we try and promote at the local government authority, of course, because the very essence of the Decentralization Act is the tenet that all layers of the governance structure of the state must work together for the benefit of the people. Councillors and council staff are at the very forefront of providing essential services to the people. And of course, safe and secure communities are exactly what the Decentralization Act aims to promote. Through collaboration of all levels of government agencies and in the international partners that lend us a hand in raising the quality of life of all citizens. So thank you each and every organization that has worked with this project for the demonstration of that very ethos of working together to serve the people of the country that we love so much. Last but not least, we are deeply appreciative of the guiding hand provided always by our board president, the Honorable Adam Sharif Umar, who also wears the hat of the Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works. I am always deeply touched by how much knowledge you have, sir, of the 200 councils that we serve. I know, sir, that you have visited every inhabited island of the Maldives, and your understanding of the issues relevant to promoting community well-being is indeed remarkable. I have had the opportunity to accompany him on some occasions to island communities, and the genuine love and care with which he engages with the people and the love and the respect shown to him in return is indeed a very beautiful thing to behold and a fantastic foundation to build our work on. I'm sure it must be the law of attraction at work there. We thank you, sir, for the guidance and closeness and your availability at all times to LGA, regardless of how busy you are with your other duties. For example, this morning, I know you have a cabinet meeting at 9 o'clock. So thank you very much for gracing this occasion here today. At the local government authority, we try and promote that very ethos of kindness and caring that you demonstrate in such an exemplary way, and of course instill in councillors the values of kindness and caring in the service to the people. I pray for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's blessings for the safety and security of our communities in our islands, healthful children, and to give us the ability and wisdom to pave the way for a better quality of life for our people. Thank you, and wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Thank you, CEO. Next on our agenda is the address by UNICEF representative to the Maldives, Dr. Edward Adai. I humbly invite the UNICEF representative to the Maldives, Dr. Edward Adai, to deliver his remarks. Dr. Edward Adai.
Excellency Minister Adam Sharif Umar, Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. When I met you, you welcomed me very well to your office and you reinforced the importance of decentralization. And you've lived by it, and your presence here is inspiring to all of us. Thank you very much, Mr. Minister. Dr. Mariam Zulfa, CEO of Local Government Authority, thank you for your kind words. Thank you for the vision and the drive you bring to LGA. And thank you for the open hands to which you welcome all of us and the collaborative approach to doing business. But more importantly, thank you for your attention to children. I want to appreciate your generosity. Thank you very much, Madam. At my friends and leaders and compatriots at the council, the women development groups, I can tell you without fear of contradiction that your leadership is appreciated by my team. The work you do is appreciated by the people. And the way you always welcome us encourages us to come back. So I want to thank you so much for your partnership and for your leadership. And I want to reinforce that it's important to us that you continue to be friends of children and friends of UNICEF. My partners at Mali, the government representatives here, deputy ministers, state ministers, the people we work on a daily basis, we derive our energy from you. Without you, we are not able to reach the children that matter. And on a daily basis, you help steer the work that we do. And I know that each and every one of us in UNICEF appreciates the partnership and the leadership and the attention that you continue to give to Maldives and to children of Maldives. Because as far as we are concerned, we get it right for children, we get it right for everybody. You get it wrong for children, you get it wrong for everybody. The worst thing about getting it wrong for children is that you don't get it wrong for today, you get it wrong for the future as well. So as we inherit a beautiful Maldives from those who were before us, our calling, which is what UNICEF is here to support you with, is that we create a Maldives and sustain it and take it to the next level. And that requires that we continue to invest in children. So I want to thank my team. They do all the work and I get all the praise. So I extend a lot of the praise to you as well. Without you, unfortunately, UNICEF would be nothing. So I thank you so much for the work that you continue to do. In particular, for recognizing the importance of partnerships. Because that is what will drive the agenda, and that is what will take Maldives to the next level. And to all participants, I say good morning and assalamu alaikum, and a big welcome to this forum, the first of its kind for us, and I'm sure there have been others, but more importantly, for us, it is focused on Kudin Nagatun. Anytime I say something in Divehi, people get confused, but I hope that it is there for everybody to see. Kudin Nagatun, Aharum Benumvara. If you hear nothing in the next 2 days, I want you to take that core message of Kudin Nagatun, Aharum Benumvara home. We pursued on this journey for several reasons, but I'd like to highlight just 4 of them, if you allow me. The first is to bring interventions closer to children. Mr. Minister, your vision, their families. And it's very simple. It's because children live in communities. And all countries all over the world are struggling with bridging the policy implementation gap. Kudin Nagatun Aharum Benumvara, is our contribution to bridging the policy implementation gap and going to the communities. So children live in communities, families live in communities, we have to be there with them in communities. The second is to really recognize the central role of councils and the plans that councils are pursuing and driving to make the councils and the cities livable cities. These are complements to national level plans, and we are with the councils because of our firm belief in government's decentralization policy. So that's the second reason. We believe in the policy, and we believe government decentralization policy must work for children. Because if we get it right for children, we get it right for society today and tomorrow. The third is something we always say amongst our colleagues, and is that you cannot divide the child. We divide responsibilities, we have ministries, we have sections, we have divisions, but we cannot divide the child, so they must all come together again. And they come together at the community, at the family, and at the local level. So as we conceive things at Mali level and at the national level, we must converge on this child. And the concept of converging is what happens in the family. Families don't divide their children. Families don't say we are dividing you into education, health. These are all things that come together for the child in the family. So convergence and working together is key for us. It is about working together to meet the needs of the child where they are. Because we believe that when we get it right for the child, we get it right for everybody. And indeed, all of us know that the moment His Excellency the Minister hears a call that there's a problem with his child, he's going to leave this meeting. When our children are not safe, nothing matters. Nothing matters. So getting it right for the child is about getting it right for the minister to be able to do his work. And that is the position that we hold, and that's what we believe in, and that's what continues to drive us. And the work doesn't end, because the moment we get it right for this child, another child comes in. It's continuous. And that is why we need the island that we want to help us sustain the progress that we are making. And the fourth reason is because the children told us. We invested in Kudin Bunani, and did I get it right this time? Kudin Bunani, the children spoke to us and said, this is the island that we want. And let me summarize briefly the type of islands the children want. And I'll summarize it with four bullets, 4 big points. It's a lot more. It's about 10 or 15, but allow me to summarize it in 4 main ways, or 3 main ways, if you allow me, in the interest of time. The first area is that the children want services, basic health services, basic education services, schools, basic social services, and basic water and sanitation. That's what they told us. So councils, this is what your children are saying. The second is the communities in which they live in. So thank you. It's great to see the police here. They want their communities to be safe. They want to be able to walk and play around. They want their communities to be clean. And I think, apart from a few places that I've been to, I can tell you, councils, you are doing a great job with keeping your islands clean. And my team will tell you that that's one of the things that we always speak about, the cleanness of the communities. But they want it to be green. And they want you to make sure that the islands don't vanish. They want it to be resilient. So that's the second thing they want, is at the community level. The third thing they want is they want people who care. They want champions and guardians of child rights and families. They are proud about Ibamas. They are proud about you, councils. They look up to you a lot. WDCs. Climate guardians. They want people who care and safeguard child rights in the communities. So these are three things that I hope that as we reflect on this partnership, we would consistently work towards. What we are doing with today's forum is to provide our teams the opportunity to speak about these issues and to agree a way forward and the journey that we need to walk together. For us, it's a journey. And more importantly, it's not a journey of prescriptions. It's a journey of learning. We come to you with a lot of humility. We have some knowledge. But knowledge is not useful if it's not contextualized. And that's why we want to work with you on this journey. We see you as Pathfinder Islands to help us along this journey, and more importantly, hopefully in the next iteration of our forum, you would have other islands that can join. We want to reach every child everywhere. So you are Pathfinder countries, but it does not start and end with the 10 islands. We want to go to 189 islands. All the islands you have reached, Mr. Minister, we want to reach them. But we need a path, and we want these islands to be the Mecca that all the islands come to and learn. And we want you to hold hands with the islands. As we engage with you, I always have to highlight that we are not there to tell you what to do. We are there to enable you and to leverage your work. We will come in there as your visitors, as your guests, and we hope that you would always receive us as such along this journey of learning. So before I conclude, I'd like to thank you personally, Mr. Minister, for your leadership, and Madam, for the warm welcome that you gave us, and for the breath of fresh air that you continue to bring into the local government system. I feel really honored to be part of such a winning team. But for us in UNICEF, we have traditional partners. This is a new type of partnership that we are trying to nurture. And so take us as a partner that would also make mistakes and learn. And I was very impressed by your speech, Madam, because you said sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong. At the end of the day, we move forward. And that's what I like to suggest that we do. I also like to appreciate the councils for really welcoming us. They make the team feel good. Now I have a problem. The team always wants to go to the field. And I'm saying, okay, you stay a bit in the office. It's wonderful that you continue to welcome us. But we would like to work with you on your plans, make them child-friendly, but move from planning to execution. Because in the next couple of years, as you hear, we'd like to do a solid evaluation Is it working? Is it not working? What needs to change? So on behalf of UNICEF, I'd like to once again reaffirm my commitment to Kudin Nagatun Hanumbe Numbara. If I stay too long in the office, tell me to go down, because we need to create child-friendly and climate-resilient islands, the islands that our children want. Not because we are doing them a service, but because we believe that if we get it right for children, we get it right for ourselves today and tomorrow. I thank you so much for your attention, and I wish us all very fruitful conversations today and tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Edward Adai. There's been a slight change in the agenda. We are postponing the video presentations towards the end of the ceremony. And I would like to move on to the next item on the agenda, which is a keynote address on prioritizing children and the role of local governments by the chief guest. I hereby invite our chief guest, the President of LGA Board and Minister of Cities, Local Government and Public Works, His Excellency Adam Sharif Omar, to deliver the keynote address. Minister Adam Sharif Omar.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Dr. Edward Adai, the UNICEF representative to the Maldives, Dr. Mariam Zulfa, the Chief Executive Officer of Local Government Authority, the Mayor of Formula Council, State Ministers, Deputy Ministers, government officials, Council members, my colleagues, esteemed participants, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to you all. At the very outset, I would like to thank Dr. Edward Adai, the UNICEF representative to the Maldives, and Dr. Mariam Zulfa, the Chief Executive Officer of LGA, for giving me this opportunity to grace this important forum today. It's a momentous occasion for me because child education has always been a passion for me, and I had been working in the education sector for about 35 years. And I'm very pleased to see some of my former colleagues working with me even today. There was a time in the Maldives that when you had to get a special permission from the Supreme Authority when you wanted to teach foreign language to your children. Until 1970s, the primary education in the Maldives was concentrated only in Malay, and the access of education was limited only to those who are blessed or linked with the royal families or ruling families. Only very few boys, in a very few families outside Malay, from out in the islands, had the opportunity to enroll in Malay schools. Despite the limited access, very few managed to complete the education, mainly because they face awful challenges as child labor was a huge issue in Malay. It was UNICEF that built the first adult education center in Baital in 1978 and continue to build adult education centers in all atolls. UNICEF was investing not only the infrastructure, but also human resource development, capacity building, and resource mobilization. This marked the beginning and the foundation of modern universal primary education in the Maldives. I was fortunate to be one of those adult education centers. Last night, while I was browsing some of my archives, I came across a booklet I was sort of translated, and it was used in some of my colleagues, and that was talking about establishing the child-friendly schools in the Maldives. I'm sure my colleague, former colleague, Shehe, would remember this very well. The child-friendly school program brought very positive changes to the school system. The classroom setting, the kind of transformation that we brought into classroom teaching and learning, and reforming the classroom assessment methodologies, and improving the overall school management system was the significant changes that we thought that was really remarkable in the school system. UNICEF later established the teacher resource centers at all adult education centers to facilitate the decentralization of school-based teacher professional development program in the Maldives. This has led to the introduction of the mandatory 3 days dedicated for school-based teacher professional development, which is allocated in the academic calendar today. The Teacher Resource Center also has played a very significant role in introducing the professional standards of teachers, which encourage the teachers to improve their teaching and upgrade their content knowledge. Again, I had the opportunity to be involved in establishing the Teacher Resource Centers, building their capacity, the capacity of the TRC coordinators, and coordinating the school-based professional development programs across the country. Even today, UNICEF remains dedicated, focusing on children, closer to the children, Kudinagatum, focusing on building islands and councils that are really conducive, supportive, and meaningful for children. Aharemen Benumwara, creating the islands and councils the children wants. The UNICEF agenda, responding today for tomorrow, enlighten the key areas: positive parenting, mental health and substance abuse, supportive and caring communities, climate smart and resilient actions, transforming education and developing skills for innovation, entrepreneurship, engagement and employability, developing and engaging young people, nutrition, healthy lifestyles, and preventing and responding to the lives, again, children. These are crucial areas to ensure no child is left behind and building better communities. This is exactly what His Excellency Dr. Mohammad Muiz hopes to work in the next 5 to 10 years. This aligns perfectly well with his vision for the children. And I'm sure this will be a game-changing flagship initiative that will reform the local communities. I commend UNICEF Maldives for spearheading efforts to create islands and councils that will nurture the children's potential. UNICEF stands as a symbol of excellence in education, health and child and social protection, and climate resilient actions. UNICEF is an integral part of development and well-being of Maldivians. The Maldives deeply valued and recognized the invaluable support and assistance UNICEF has provided to the Maldivian people. The government is committed to strengthening our partnership with UNICEF and other international communities to better future generations. I would like to express our heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Edward Adai and the dedicated team of UNICEF Maldives for the excellent, outstanding work that you are doing. My dear participants, I'm very pleased to see the island councils taking part in this forum. That will help building your capacity. Capacity building is fundamental to make the program effective and efficient. I also understand that you will be discussing and formulating strategies to build better communities and councils for the children. It is important to make holistic, realistic, practical, and time-bound strategies to implement this initiative. Demonstrate your leadership and take the ownership of this initiative. The sustainability of the program largely depends on your strong leadership and coordination. Your participation and your active participation is crucial to make this event more successful. And your collective efforts, your commitment will make a difference. And together we can achieve this. As responsible partners of this initiative, as responsible members of our local communities, and as responsible individuals, we have the duty to make our islands safe, secure, and productive and child-friendly. That responsibility lies on our shoulders. If we fail to act today, we may regret tomorrow and forever. I wish you all good luck with the upcoming discussions and collaborations, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, Minister. As we head towards concluding this ceremony, I hereby invite all our honored guests and participants to come forward for a group photo to commemorate this significant event. If all the participants could join us on the stage for the group photo, please. We will be continuing with the rest of the opening ceremony after the group photo. Thank you. Thank you, distinguished guests and participants. If you could all take your seats, we'll be continuing on with the rest of the opening ceremony. We shall be taking a few minutes while we wait for the rest of the VIPs to join back. Thank you.
ಯುನಿಸೆಫಿನ್ ದುನಿಯಾಗೆ ಏಕೆ ಕಂಕೊಳು ತವಗ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಣಿ ಕುಡಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಹಗ್ಗುತಕ ದೊಳೆಹೆವಕಂ ಕಶವರು ಕೊದ್ದಿನುಮ ಏ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ತಣಗ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಹಾಲೆಗ್ಗ ದಿರಿಯುಳೆ ಕುಚ್ಚವಿಯಸ್ ಎವ್ವಸ್ ಕುಚ್ಚಕು ಬಾಕಿ ನುಕೋ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ ರಕ್ಕಾತೆರಿಕಂ ಫೋಡು ಕೊದ್ದಿನುಮ ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ಹುನ್ನ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಒಫಿ ಹುನ್ ದಿವೆಹಿ ಸರುಕಾರ ಬೈಂ ಎಹನಿಹೆಂ ಬ್ಯಾವರಿಂ ಗುಳಿಗೆಂ ಮೆ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಣಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ದಿರಿಯುಳೆ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ ದಿರಿ ಹುರುಮುಗೆ ಇತುರುಂ ಫುರಿಹಮ ಸಿಹತೆಕ್ಕ ಹೆದಿ ಬೊಡುವೆ ಎ ಕುಜ್ಜಕ್ಕೆ ಗಾಬಿಲ್ ಕನ್ ತಂದೆ ಮಿಂವರಕ ಕುರಿಯರುಮುಗೆ ಫುರ್ಸತ್ ಫಹಿ ಕೊದ್ದಿನುಮ ಯುನಿಸೆಫಿನ್ ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯ ಕಂಡಾಳ ಫಾವಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ ಮಕ್ಸದಕಿ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ನ ಎಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಆಯಲಾತಗ ಸಿಹತಾಯ ಕಾರಣ ರಕ್ಕಾತೆರಿಕಂ ತೌಲೀಮ್ ಇಕ್ತಿಸಾದ್ ಅದಿ ಮುಸುಮಂ ಅಣ್ಣ ಬದಲ್ತೋಗೆ ದಾಯರಾಯನ್ ದಿಮಾವಾ ಹುರಸ್ತಕಂ ಹಲ್ಲು ಹೋದಾದೆನು ಮಿಕಂಕಮ ಬಿನಾಕೋ ಯುನಿಸೆಫಿನ್ ದನಿ ಅ ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ಶಿಪ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮೆ ಹಿಂಗಮು ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಫುರತಮ ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ಶಿಪ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಬೆಲೆನೆವೆರಿಯಾಗೆ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆತ್ತ ಬಿನಾಕುರೆ ಫಾವಣಿ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ವಶಾಚೆಹೆ ಗೊತ್ತಂ ಹೆದಿಬೊಡುವಾನೆ ಮಾಹೋಲೆ ಫೋರು ಕೊದ್ದಿನುಮ ಮ್ಯಾಮಫಾಣ ಬೆಲೆನೆವೆರಿನ ಬೇಣುವಾ ಮೌಲುಮಾತಾಯ್ ಹುನರತ ಫೋರು ಕೊದ್ದಿನುಮುಗೆ ಮಚ್ಚ ತೆವನ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಕ್ಯಾಗಿಂಗ್ ಹಿಂಗಮ ಅಲಿಯಳುವಾಲನಿ ಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ತುತ್ತು ಇರುಂ ಫೆಶಿಗೆನ್ ಸಿಹತ ಫಾದಾಹುರಿ ಕಾಣ ಕೆವಮ ಹರಕಾತರಿವೆ ಉಳುಮುಗೆ ಮುಹಿಮು ಕಮುಗೆ ಮಚ್ಚ ಸಿಹತಕಿ ಹಮೇಕಣಿ ಜಿಸ್ಮಾನಿ ದುಳೆಹೆವ ಕಮೆಣ್ಣು ಐ ನಫ್ಸಾನಿ ದುಳೆಹೆವ ಕಂಬೆಸ್ಮೆ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಕಿಹಿನ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಕಿ ಅಮಿಲ್ಲ ನಫ್ಸಂ ಅಳಾಲುಮ ಅಮಿಲ್ಲ ಇಹುಸಾಸ್ತ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲೇಟ್ ಕೊ ನಫ್ಸಾನಿ ದುಳೆಹೆವ ಕಂದೆಮೆ ಹೆಟ್ಟುಮಂ ಹುನರತ ದಸ್ಕೊದ್ದೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮೆ ಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಸಿಹತಾಯ ದುಳೆಹೆವಕಮ ರಕ್ಕಾತರಿಕಂ ಕಶವರು ಕೊದ್ದಿನುಮಕಿ ಮುಳಿ ಮುಜ್ತಮಾಗೆ ಜಿಮ್ಮಾಯೆ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಇಬಮ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಕಿ ಇಜ್ತಿಮಾಯಿ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರ ಫರಾತ್ತ ಎಕುಗ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರವೆನ ಪ್ಲಾಟ್ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ರಶಗಾವಸ್ಕಾರಂಕೊ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ನಾಜುಕು ಹಾಲುಗ ದಿರಿಯುಳೆ ಆಯಲಾತ ತೆನೆಗನೆ ಎಫರಾತ್ತಕ ಇಜ್ತಿಮಾಯಿ ಹಿದುಮೆತ್ತಕ ಗುಳುವಾದಿ ಅಳಾಲ ಮುಜ್ತಮಾವೆ ಬಿನಾಕುರುಮ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮೆ ಫಸ್ವನ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ರಕ್ಕಾತರಿಗೆ ಮಕ್ಸದಕಿ ಕೇತೆರೆ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಮುಜ್ತಮಾ ಅದಿ ಇಂಟರ್ನೆಟ್ ಕಾ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ನ ಕುರ ಅನಿಯಾಯ ದೆಕೊಳ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರು ಅದಿ ಕೇಸ್ತಂ ಮದುಕೊ ಮಿಕಂಕಮ ಕುರಿಮತಿಲ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಎಹಿತರಿಕಂ ಫೋರುಕೊದ್ದೆ ನಿಜಾಮ್ತಂ ಹರದನ ಕುರಂ ಎಹಿತರಿವು ಜಮಾನಿ ತರಗಿ ಅದಿ ಕೋವಿಡ್ ನವಾರಯ ಗುಳಿಗೆನ್ ತೌಲೀಮ್ ಹಾಸಿಲ್ ಕುರುಮ ದಿರಿಯುಳುಮ ಬೊಡತಿ ಬದಲ್ ತಕೆಂಗತುವಜೆ ಖಾಮಿಯಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ಗೆ ಮಕ್ಸದಕಿ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಜುವಾನು ಜಮಾನಿ ದುನಿಯಾಕ ಕುರಿಮತಿಲಾಂ ಬೇಣುವಾ ಹುನರತ ದಸ್ಕೊದ್ದಿ ಅದಿ ತೌಲೀಮಿ ನಿಜಾಮ್ ಇತುರ ಹರದನ ಕುರುಮ ಗೆಣ್ಣಂಚೆಹೆ ಬದಲ್ತ ಕುರಿಯರುವು ಮೂಸಮಿ ಬದಲ್ತ ಕುನ್ ರಕ್ಕಾತರಿವುಮ ಯುನಿಸೆಫು ಅಂಕುಲವಾಲ ಫವಾ ಮಗ್ಚಾಟ ಬಿನಾಕೋ ಹಿಂಗ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ರೆಸಿಲಿಯಂಟ್ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಕಿ ಮಿ ಬದಲ್ತಕ ವಿಲುಂಬೆರಿಕಂ ಇತುರುಕೊ ವಿಲುಂಬೆರಿ ಮಾಹೌಲೆ ಬಿನಾಕುರು ಅದಿ ರರಶುಗ ಕ್ಲೈಮೇಟ್ ಗಾರ್ಡಿಯನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತುಗ ಇಸ್ನಗಾನೆ ಜುವಾನು ಉಫತ್ತ ತಿಮಾವೆಶಿಗೆ ದಾಯರಾಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮುಂತ ನಿಮ್ಮಾಯಿರು ಎಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾವೆರಿವುಂ ಹಿಮೆನುಮ ಮಗ್ಫಹಿ ಕೊದ್ದಿನು ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಎಮ್ಮ ಫಹು ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ಶಿಪ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮಕಿ ಜುವಾನುಂ ಬಿನಾಕೋ ಎಮೀಹುಂಗೆ ಬ್ಯಾವೆರಿವುಂ ಇತುರು ಕುರುಮ ಹಿಂಗಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮೆ ಮೀಗೆ ಮಕ್ಸದಕಿ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಮಸಕ್ಕತೆಗ್ಗಾವೆಸ್ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ನ ಜುವಾನುಂ ಬ್ಯಾವೆರಿಕೊ ಎಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಹಿಯಾಲ್ತಕ ಎಕು ಮಸಕ್ಕೆತ್ತ ಹರುದನಾಕೊ ಅದಿ ಮುಜ್ತಮಾವ ಹೆವ್ ಬದಲ್ತ ಗೆನೌಮ ಇಸ್ ರೋಲೆಂ ಅದಾ ಕುರುಮ ಜಾಗಾಯ ಫುರ್ಸತ್ತಿನು ಮಿ ಮಸಕ್ಕತ್ತ ಹಿಂಗುಮುಗ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಮುಹಿಮು ದೌರೆಂ ಅದಾ ಕುರ ಬೈಕಿ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರುನ ಸಪೋರ್ಟರುನ ರಹಮೆತ್ತಿನಿ ಸರುಕಾರ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ತಕುಂ ಫೆಶಿಗೆಂ ಮದನಿ ಜಮಿಯಾ ತಕ ವಕಿವಕಿ ಫರ್ದುಂ ಅದಿ ಮತಿ ತೌಲಿಂ ಫೋರುಕೊದ್ದೆ ಮಾರ್ಕಸ್ದಂ ಹಿಮೆನೆ ಗೊತ್ತ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ತಕ ಎಬ್ಬಾರು ಲುಮಾ ಎಹಿ ತೆರಿಕಂ ಕೆಂಡಿ ನೇಡಲಿಬೆ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕುಜ್ಜಕವಸ್ ಹಮಹಮ ಫುರ್ಸತ್ತಕ ವಿಲುಂಬೆರಿ ಮುಸ್ತಕ್ಬಲ ಕಶವರು ಕೊದ್ದುನುಮ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಮುಸ್ತಮ ಅದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರುನ ಎಕೊ ಯುನಿಸೆಫೆ ಮಿಯದು ಅದಿ ಕುರಿಮೊಗ್ಗಾವಸ್ ವರುಬಲಿ ಕಮೆಣ್ಣೆತೆ ಮಸಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಾನ ಕಮುಗ ಯಗಿಂಕಂ ಅರುವಂ ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕುಜ್ಜಕ ಎಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಹಗ್ಗುತ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಗಾತುಂ ಅಹರಮೆನ್ ಬೇಣುವಾರ ನುವತ ಇಂಗಿರೇಸಿ ಬಹುನ್ನಮ Closer to children, the island we want to keep. ಸತ್ಯಕ ಅಡ್ಡಿಹ ಹೊರಗಿನ ರಶ ಫೆತುರಿಫಾವ ದಿವೆಹಿ ಮುಜ್ತಮ ತೋಗ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ನ ಜುವಾನುಂಗೆ ಹಕ್ಕುತ ರಕ್ಕಾತೆರ ಕುರುಮದ್ದಿಮಾವ ಗೊಂಜೆಹುನ್ ತಕಂ ಹಲ್ಲು ಹೋದಾದಿನು ಮಟ್ಟಕ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ ಮಾಲ್ದೀವ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ಇಸ್ನಗಾಗಂ ಫಶಾಫಾವ ಮಸಕ್ಕತೆ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ ಇನ್ ಮಸಕ್ಕ ಕುರಮುಮ್ಮಿದನಿ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ತಕ ಎಹಿ ತೆರಿಕಂ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ನ ವಿ ಹಾವೆಸ್ ಕಾತ ಗೆನಸ್ತಿ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ನ ರಹ್ಮೆತ್ತೆರಿ ಮೂಸುಮಿ ಬದಲ್ತಕ ವಿಲುಂವೆರಿ ಅದಿ ತೌಲೀಮಿ ಸಿಹಿ ಅದಿ ಇಜ್ತಿಮಾಯಿ ಹಿದುಮೆತ್ತ ಎಕಶೀಗಂವಾ ಗೊತ್ತ ಫೋರು ಕೊದ್ದವೆ ರಶೆಬ್ಬಿನ ಕುರುಮ ಅದಿ ಮಿಮಸಕ್ಕೆತ್ತವಗ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ನಾಜುಕ್ ಹಾಲತುಗ ತಿಬಿ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಹಾಸ್ಯ ಸಮಾಲ್ಕಮೆದ್ದಿನುಮ ಮೀಗೆ ಮಾಣೆಕಿ ಸರುಕಾರುಗ ವುಜಾರಾತಕ ಮದನಿ ಜಮಿಯಾತಕ ಅಮಿಲ್ಲ ಕುಂಫುಣಿತವಗ ಇತುರುಂ ಮುಳಿ ಮುಜ್ತಮಾವಾ ಗುಳಿಗೆಂ ಇಜ್ತಿಮಾಯಿ ಹಿದುಮೆತ್ತ ಎಕಶೀಗೆಂವಾ ಗೊತ್ತ ಫೋರು ಕೊದ್ದಿನುಮುಗ ರತ್ತೋಗ ದೆಮದುಗ ಹುರಿ ತಫಾತು ತೊಕ್ಕುಡುಕುರುಂ ಅದಿ ಹುರಿಹಾ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಜುವಾನುಂ ಅದಿ ಎಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಆಯಲಾತಕ ವೆಸ್ ಗೌಮಿ ಫೆಂವರುಗ ಗಾಯಂ ಕುರೇಫಾವಾ ನಿಜಾಮ್ ತಕ ಸಿಯಾಸತ್ ತಕುಂ ಕಶವರು ಕೊದ್ದೆ ಹಿದುಮೆತ್ತಕ ಫುರ್ಸತ್ತವಗ ಮಂಫಾ ಲಿಬೇಣ ಮಗು ಫಹಿಕೊದ್ದಿನು ಮಿಗೊತುಂ ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಗ ದಿರಿಯುಳೆ ಕುಡಕುದಿನ್ನ ಜುವಾನುಂಗೆ ಬೇಣುಂತಕ ರಿಯಾಯಕ್ಕೊ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ ಅದಿ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರುಂ ಗುಳಿಗೆಂ ವಣಿ ಎಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಹೆದಿಬೊಡುವುಮ ದುಳೆಹೆವಕಂ ಕುರಿಯರುವಂ ಎಹಿ ತೆರಿವೆದೆನ ದಾಯರಾತಕುಂ ಅ ಫ್ಲಾಗ್ಶಿಪ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಎದ್ದೆನೆಗಣೆ ಹಿಂಗಂ ಫಶಾಫಾ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಗಾತುಂ ಎಹಿ ತೆರಿವೆದನಿ ರಶು ಫೆಂಬರುಗಾಮಿ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ತ ಹಿಂಗುಮಶಾ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ತ ಎಕುಗಾ ಹಿಂಗೇನ ಗೊತ್ತದ್ದೆನಗಣೆ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಎಕುದಿಂಗೆ ಆಯ್ಲಾತಕ ಇತುರ ಮಂಫಾ ಲಿಬೇನ ಗೊತ್ತ ಮೆಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆತ್ತ ಇತುರ ಹರುದನ ಕುರುಮ ಎಕಿ ರಶುಗಾ ಮೆಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆ ಕುರಿಯದ್ದ ಆಯರು ಲಿಬೆ ತಜ್ರಿಬಾಯ್ ಫಿಲಾವಳ್ತೋಗೆ ಮಚ್ಚಬ್ಬಿನಾಕೋ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಅಮಾಜಕಿ ಕುದಿನ್ನ ಗಾತುಂ ಕುರಾ ಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆತ್ತ ಹರುದನಾಕೋ ಯುನಿಸೆಫ್ಗೆ ಎಹಿ ತೆರಿಕಂ ಎಮ್ಮೆ ಬೇಣುಂವಾ ಫರಾತ್ತಕ ಎಹಿ ತೆರಿಕಂ ಲಿಬೇನಕ ಯಗೆನ್ ಕುರುಮ ದಿವೆಹಿ ರಾಜ್ಯಕ್ಕೆ ಹುರಿಹಾ ರಶಕ ಮೆಮಸೆಕ್ಕೆತ್ತ ಫುಳಾ ಕುರುಂ ತಿಯ ಎಮ್ಮೆಹಾ ಫರಾತ್ತವಗೆ ಎಬ್ಬಾಳುಮಾಯಕು ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕುಜ್ಜಕ ಅಮಾ ಫೆಹಿ ಅದಿ ವಿಲುಂವೆಳಿ ಮಾದಮಾಯ ಬಿನಾ ಕುರವೆನಕ ಯಗಿನ್
Ladies and gentlemen, this brings today's ceremony to an end. Thank you once again for your presence at this memorable occasion. Please also be informed that there are refreshments served outside the hall, so please help yourselves. Thank you once again for being with us here, and good luck all the participants for the two-day forum. Thank you.